Hi everyone, welcome to this session of our web series, Fireside Chat with Champions, in which we interview global business leaders, asking them crowdsourced questions relevant to the biggest challenge we face today, COVID-19, and its impact on various aspects of business and society, and the way we can steer ourselves in current uncertainties. Today we have a special guest with us, Farzanah Chowdhury, Managing Director
Hello.
and Chief Executive Officer of Green Delta Insurance Company Limited, the only non-life insurance company with IFC World Bank equity investment in Bangladesh, which has been awarded with the prestigious AAA rating for 3 consecutive years. Farzanah, a chartered insurer, is the first female managing director and CEO in the financial sector of Bangladesh. Her guiding philosophy has always been driven by the intent of adding value, not just in business, but in every sphere that touches her life. She was recognized as Local SDG Pioneer by the United Nations Global Compact in the Global Leaders Summit 2016, announced by His Excellency Ban Ki-moon. She is one of the only 10 outstanding individuals from across the world to have received the accolade for her work in achieving SDG 5 for the gender equality and women empowerment. She has been hailed as a pioneer for women's economic security through Nibedita, the first comprehensive insurance scheme for women in South Asia. It was under her stewardship that Green Delta joined hands with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Bangladesh, in the Shastho Shuroksha Karmasuchi, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, project.
No problem at all.
Health insurance for the rural poor. She holds numerous important positions such as past national president of JCI Bangladesh, a member of the boards of trustee of JCI's Global Youth Empowerment Fund, president-elect of Entrepreneur Organization, a board member of JAAGO Foundation, a movement to eradicate poverty, and various other social and business bodies. With her leadership, she has been relentlessly working to bring forth a positive change in the insurance industry by materializing the concept insurance for everyone and growing beyond. Thanks, Farzanah, for accepting our invitation. I would request you to let our viewers know a little bit more about you and your current interests and activities. Floor is yours, Farzanah.
Oh, thank you, Deepak, for giving me the floor and for inviting me in this fire chat. I'm really excited about this. And well, I have a diverse work experience, starting from the microfinance, then pioneered in SME banking in Bangladesh, so the commercial banking sector, and then came into this insurance industry. So it's kind of a more diverse work experience that helped me go think beyond and bring in innovations in this insurance and the financial sector. We are the largest non-life in Bangladesh company in Bangladesh with 34 years of existence, and we have 4 subsidiaries, 2 in the capital market, and we have an investment banking arm, a company, and then healthcare management company, GDAssist, and also a financial training institute, PABL, that is affiliated with Chartered Insurance Institute of UK. And I am an activist in women empowerment, youth, and also startups. And we are trying to go into the digital platform. We are in the digital platform. We were kind of into the transformation phase where we go into the InsurTech platform where we can embrace the technology and also take advantage of this technology and take consumer satisfaction to a greater level. So it's kind of more, I mean, that empowers me to kind of change and bring in innovation and create an impact.
That's great to have you, Farzanah.
And SDG. Sorry, I forgot about the SDG. SDG
no, I was just asking you that question only.
Passion. Yes.
We love reading about. We love reading about how you got distressed people out of a different country.
Absolutely.
And serving the people. So please talk about it. What was the reason behind that? How the idea came? What inspired you? So that's the story we want to hear too.
Thank you so much. So GDAssist is a healthcare management company. First, we launched it just to kind of have an integrated service to our health insurance platform from the insurance company. So we have a presence in almost Southeast Asian countries, almost all countries. We send patients. We tie up hospitals to hospitals. We kind of bring in like knowledge and experience of the experts. So having a vision to actually create an impact in the health industry, health management industry in Bangladesh. So what happened was, during the COVID, everything stopped. People stopped traveling, but the patients that we actually sent, not only for medical tourism, but also, they went for vacation and for studying. They got stuck, and then, we started getting requests that how we can bring them. So that, we thought that since we're not doing anything, we actually then got into a platform where we send medicines to doorstep of our customers. We do video conferencing with doctors home and abroad. So it's kind of all those training sessions on medical health and mental health and everything. So this was a very tough situation where Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Civil Aviation didn't know what to do. They were saying, because of this COVID situation, can we bring in stranded Bangladeshi passengers? And I would say the Ministry and the Civil Aviation both, and also the High Commission, they really helped us. So we started with Bangkok. So that was the hardest part, So, and there was a dead body as well. So, they were stuck for 3 weeks, and we were getting, we did it not for the job. We did it for our people, because this is the thing that we thought this is our responsibility. So we brought 48 stranded Bangladeshi passengers, including a dead body, from Bangkok. And then we got a request from KL, Kuala Lumpur. Then we brought in 160 passengers from Kuala Lumpur, including a dead body. So that was and we did COVID test. So that thing, we were the organizing coordinating partners, and we coordinated with the hospitals. We thank all the hospitals in Bangkok and KL who took the COVID test, and then we brought them here. And in Kuala Lumpur, interestingly, 2 were founded positive, so they couldn't board the flight. So it was really good that we got all those testimonials that we brought in. We feel that we've done something for our country that actually goes into the SDG goals achievement. So I think it's not only our achievement, it's the country's achievement, and of course for the people who were distressed. And now we're also getting requests from other countries. So it's kind of taking us to a different, I would say, business platform where we don't see it as a business. We do see it as helping people.
Now that's great, and in fact, you'll be surprised. Very rarely you find private companies doing the work like this, because you hear a lot of stories from India getting people back home, US getting people back home, but a private
chartering flights is also very difficult. I mean, we actually arranged the chartered flights. I mean, that was also really kind of a different job. I mean, we could say it's not our job, but facilitating the whole process and coordinating end to end, that was really a very tough job. But I would say from this experience, we gained a lot of knowledge and experience, and we gained so much, and we got the love and affection from the people, and got the mental satisfaction that we did something in the COVID situation. Yeah.
No, you walk the talk, as you said that you want to impact every sphere of life you touch. So you have done that. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Leaving the ones behind.
So that brings us to our first question. So the way this crisis created by COVID and the measures to contain it will run for how long cannot be known. Some say 6 months, some say 2 years. We don't know about that. But alongside that tragic human toil, it is already having considerable economic impacts, posing major challenges to the global supply chain and certain business sectors such as airlines, travel, retail, leisure, and causing significant oil, commodity, and stock market volatility. Central banks, including the US Federal, RBI India, Bangladesh Bank, and the European Central Bank, have responded by cutting interest rates, expanding the quantitative easing program to make more liquidity available. How do you see the impact of COVID-19 on the global insurance industry in general, and non-life insurance in particular?
Well, I think it will have a big impact in the life insurance company side, because it will raise a lot of claims in the health sector and also the life part, and people are getting more health aware. They were very much aware of the health, and they want to do health insurance and life insurance. But also, on the property and casualty, the impact will be a little lower because factories are closed. Sometimes, and the workers are not there, security people are not there. So, but this will also give rise to unwanted claims, because that will be a moral hazard, because if this lockdown situation continues, it will create a riot. I mean, you could see all the workers are also somewhere going on the street and saying that, are we going to be out of jobs? And because 1.6 billion people, which falls into the informal market sector. And in Bangladesh also, you see that we have more than 700,000 agents who are actually now jobless at the moment, because, and we, from our association, I think we have pleaded to our Prime Minister to kind of how to help them, because like every country, they have taken, a lot of other countries have, and also the reinsurers are also thinking into bringing in pandemic into the situation. See, because cancellation of the events is actually it's happening right now, which is actually creating billions of dollars, like Wimbledon, all those event cancellation. So where most of the cases maybe pandemic is not included. So now there is a scope to actually ensure whether we can bring in to the workspace, and then how we can kind of adapt ourselves, because this is something that very new, because Corona is creating a lot of pressure in the global scenario. You can see that, premium income will be in a low, it's a lower, it's on the lower side, because if you see some of the, like Swiss Re has, given an article that, in 2018, there was there was a huge growth in the reinsurance premium market, but where there was a 3% growth in the 2019, but there will be a kind of a 30 to 40% slash in the non-life gross premium earning. So that is a kind of a situation where we are in, and globally the reinsurers are facing BI losses, liability claims, which is not yet visible in our country, because the awareness of insurance is not there so much. So that's why people are not really saying, only people are saying, okay, can we, even the government is saying, can we come up with COVID-19 coverage for the health, but not for anything for our customers. Like, for instance, we are getting requests from our big corporate, all those big industrial risk policy holders, big corporates, whether we can give them in installment payments. Like in India, like, your government also, passed a law whether you can, pay in installment. But in Bangladesh, paying in installments it's a really if there's a gray area whether because if the policy is covered and the payment is not paid, covered. So what will if anything happens, or if the claim arises, how much should we pay, or should we pay at all? So these are there are many issues that we are facing from our client side, and also from the reinsurer side. Come on, please pay the reinsurance payment, because so these are the slowdown of the business growth, and also I would say human resources. This is something that we are kind of globally, globally I would say digital adaptation, digital transformation is actually taking shape. All the reinsurers are actually partnering with fintechs, all those fintech startups, to kind of go come up with the online policies, and that's low cost saving. And here in Bangladesh also, I think it's high time, because that will also create all those small companies go into bankruptcy if they do not embrace technology and get rid of those people who are actually agents. But these agents, we need to also transform them into another work activity, get them ready for the future. So I think there's a global slowdown, of course, like the other sectors. And if this continues, I don't know how long we can hold on to it. And without the reinsurer support, the insurance company cannot survive. And also, as in addition to that, you see the investment income. That is something, one of the, I would say, greatest strength of all the insurance and reinsurers, right? So that would be hugely affected, and that would really create a cash crunch in the economy. So I think in South Asian region, there are like Singapore, India, they've come up with all those new products. Like you have some, there are insurance companies tying up with fintechs, whether we can offer all those attractive, packages that will also, so this online thing will actually give a huge, I would say, crisis for the human resources who are actually doing work at the moment. So we need to kind of see how many people we can actually retain. So job layoff is an issue, and you already know that 14% jobs are laid off in US at the moment, and globally, 80% will be, total trade will be will be affected. 50% of the global trade. So I think this will also help us to think differently, and work from home is not. I think is not a temporary issue. It's going to be a permanent thing, probably. In some of the cases, we need to see how we have to have a vision how to go forward with having a low-cost strategy, optimization of your operational expenditure. Taking advantage, update yourself with the technology. And getting your workforce ready for the future, and it's kind of think disruptive model to diversify your business area. That's what we are doing in the GDSs. I mean, that's a total. I would say it's a big example of a startup how we are surviving right now, because all our employees of GDSs are really they're really active at the moment, although we're not sending patients abroad, but we're doing other things. So although the revenue is not generating that much. Yeah,
I understand that. So Farzanah,
I hope I could
exactly, like the beautifully articulated 360-degree view of the insurance sector, associated challenges, as well as the overall impact of the things happening around insurance sector on that. Very well articulated, and we got a very good 360-degree view. Now let's get a little bit back home towards Bangladesh. So you know that COVID-19 will lead to lots of balancing between fiscal and economic policies. For example, the government of Bangladesh has just given a stimulus of close to $12 billion US, most of them pro-poor, which is good. But such measures along with COVID has changed the realities of the business. According to you, what are the key challenges back home? Which specific industry do you feel would be having more problems, and which industries you believe that they would get leverage or they get catalyzed by COVID? And also, how do you see that typically the regulatory environment becoming agile to such realities and working on that? So from the Bangladesh perspective, what are your views?
I think in Bangladesh perspective, most of the cases where our RMG, textile, banking, and financial industry are the most, I would say, affected right now. At the moment, the pharmaceutical industries. I mean, because everything is stuck. The workers are creating strikes, and in the RMG sector, they're losing orders. 1,000 factories are in deep shit, whether they will be closing factories. So. For that reason, Bangladesh has, our honorable Prime Minister has given up a fallout package, whether how to kind of get these sectors, the SMEs and other sectors, can be revived, and at a lower cost. They can take loans from the bank, and there are a lot of other. I think I'm sure there are a lot of tax incentives also are coming out. Whether the corporates will be giving dividends, or regarding the corporate tax, or whether already banks are doing their job, like they're not charging late payments, and they're always calling their customers, trying their best. I mean, how they can repay the loan at their convenient time. I think opportunities, so manufacturing, travel, tourism, transportation, financial sectors, real estate, printings. These are, the sectors that really kind of now they're in big trouble. But definitely it's a huge opportunity for healthcare, and I think mental health care. Do you remember in the World Economic Forum in China with the conference, there were so many sessions at the mental health care, and in the micro insurance summit in Bangladesh that took place last year, there was a huge session, and it's really coming into shape, and this is something that the people needs. Starting from your employees, your management, your home, in yourself, you need mental boost up. So I think healthcare, pharmaceuticals, food and beverage. So these are the things we need to kind of create, because foods and beverage, people are sending food and other things, essentials, to their home. For the courier service, it's a huge opportunity for them. Then agro, of course, and I would like to say that we are finally, working with the finance ministry on the Hour area. So we've just started, and what are the initiatives that we have taken, that now, since from the insurance, because insurance, we have like more than 25 and 30,000 farmers with us, but what we're trying to do is trying to get fund for them, and also to give them the fund so that they can really in these 2-3 months time, they can actually overcome the situation. So these are the things, these are the initiatives government is taking, private institutions, associations, and private sectors like us. But in our area, we have actually given claims also recently. And I think the SMEs, we're helping the SMEs, we're helping the women. Women segment is hugely affected, and they will be needing a lot of mental trauma thing, all those awareness. So I think these awareness should be, there. So I think lot of opportunities and a lot of different ways, like embracing technology that will help us go into a digital platform, right? And thinking like people didn't even know what Zoom is all about, and see what's happening in Zoom right now, right? So look at the share price. My God. I mean, this is something no one even thought that Zoom would come into this shape, right? So I think that like webinar session, people didn't even know what's a webinar. So that's opening a door for us. And I think technology is an area where things will be moving. And I'm also involved in some of the government initiative, ICT ministries.
Farzanah, let me hold you here. Let me hold you here, because we have a question on technology. So I would like you to talk about technology in our next question, which I would be putting to you. Here, only thing I would like to... You can stop me anytime, Vivek. Yeah, no, I understand. See, what happens to the people which are having so much of thought process going on, right? They have dots connected, but I want to segment it in a way so that, like, the audience can see it as segments and can understand it far better than actually when we are in a complete flow. Now that's where I was coming up. Like, agriculture, unfortunately in Bangladesh or in even substantial part of India, you'll find is still not technology driven. And if there is one area of agriculture which needs technology in a bigger manner, is definitely the agriculture insurance, right? So as we were talking, I think we'll continue talking on doing something together on that sector, bringing tech to Bangladesh. Now my question to you is that, like, you've seen that globally, generally the BFSI sector, the banking, financial services and insurance, they're generally on the forefront of technology, whether it is using algorithms, whether it is for your actuary purposes to use a different type of business intelligence. So generally you take the lead. Now, I would like to understand, because I was hearing from you, I was talking to you about you being taking sessions to understand which startup should be doing things in fintech. We have been talking about blockchain. So very rarely you find that people from Bangladesh talking that language, those jargons. So I would like to understand more from you. Where do you see technology going in the BFSI sector, more focused on Bangladesh, and the work you are doing and your interventions, and where do you as an individual think that the technology should be going to?
Well, we're actually walking the talk, as we believe in technology. We actually breathe technology right now, because technology is actually bringing in all those, I would say, makes the pricing simple, and all end-to-end process very transparent, and no moral hazard, no kind of manual intervention, and it's a clear and very quick service. So in agriculture, as you've mentioned, what we have done, we started when a few years ago, and then we partnered with IFC. IFC is our equity investment, investor, and when we partnered with them, they brought in the technical expertise, and we have we're using a satellite. Using satellite data with meteorological departments database, and we are analyzing more than 38 years of data, weather data, and actually we have interpolated workstation at where we can develop any type of product for any season, for any crop, and anywhere in Bangladesh. This is something that no one has come up with this, and we could only do it because of the technology thing, right? And this is really, and you'll be happy to know, when we first, took the minister and our regulator, and they were saying, you are giving claims to the farmers. Is it believable? I said, yes, it is. And then even the farmers didn't know they're getting proportional claim amount, because it rained more than 5 days. Yeah. So it's kind of a more, so we have like excess temperature, if it is rains for more than X number of days, or the temperature goes beyond a certain level, they get the claim amount. And they didn't even know, and we don't have to send any drones or people. So it's kind of all, it's the in the satellite data and the technology partner that we have in India. So it's kind of it's giving us a lot of knowledge and expertise in this, and that is how we're also joining hands with finance, Ministry of Finance, where also in the Har area, it's also, there's a lot of issues on flash floods, right? So this is area that we're trying to develop a model where where the how people can be saved and can be given more signals whether they can stay well. So and that's why the ICT, I'm very much involved in the technology platform and working with the ICT ministry, and in their global competition for all the students, because young generation, they bring in the ideas, they bring in all those ideas. So we are partnering with iFarmer, and very the iFarmer is there's a tech startup that actually connects us with the farmers in the remote areas. So it's kind of helping us, all those tech startup, our network partners, what they're doing, helping us to reach out to those farmers and bring them the policy, with the insurance coverage, and also to make them aware. It's like gaining knowledge from them, and also we give knowledge to them as well. So we learned together. So the products are actually designed according to their mindset, their problems, and what solutions they are actually looking for, right? So this actually helping us. So I think technology is the way forward. And since Bangladesh is one of the pioneers, and you've seen we have our ICT, technology as advisor, and our Prime Minister is actually really, really bogged down into this. I mean, really focused in technology. And I think insurance is the only sector who's actually behind from every other sectors. They have actually come up with a lot of solutions. So we are really excited about this, on the personal line, and also in the big industrial all risk and other marine cover notes. I mean, there are processes that can be totally automated. So process automation is very, very important for I think transparency and cost saving and efficiency. So I think this is so agriculture and women and youth, whatever.
Very excited. Maybe once this COVID travel ban is over, I'll bring a delegation of some good technology company.
Oh, absolutely.
Myself,
We can take you and visit our projects and see what we're doing.
Yeah, we will do that because very excited, and you driving it, I know it is gonna be a big success. So it's always to bet at the right place. So that we'll be doing.
Well, it's we have started slowly, but see, we are now partnering with banks because it took us 3 years to make the banks understand that we are actually supplementing their credit risk tools. We are kind of doing the risk assessment. So this was not in the mindset. And I think since government central bank is very much focusing the agriculture loans, so I think insurance is that's why they're understanding that we need insurance. This is a very good thing now. People are now coming, all the retail outlets, distribution. So distribution is one of the biggest challenge. So that is how the multi-stakeholder approach is very much needed. And it's like to kind of gain a holistic approach and to reach out to the poor people, the marginalized people, which we think is actually a positive investment towards that will bring in not only business growth but also the livelihood change of these people, which will contribute to the GDP of the country. So it's kind of a more linked. So that's why we think that these are the positive investment in the people and the young generation.
That's what is required, and with the business leaders like you, I believe Bangladesh, which is already growing pretty fast when compared to the rest of the world, you'll find it that growth will get into the hands of those who needs it. So the bottom of the pyramid will get impacted. Mm-hmm. Now Farzanah, let me bring you still closer from country and technology to the Farzanah, the individual, and someone who is running an organization. I would like to understand from you how you and your company is coping with the COVID related challenges. As you rightly said, there is a lot of challenges mentally as a human being because of the lockdown. We are not built to do that. In fact, my next sessions, which are going to start from 1st of July, I'm launching something called Business Monk. So after all the interaction with so many people, I'm starting a program where we'll be giving the top management mantra of how to stay calm, because this is not going to last in next 3 months. You are in for a battle of at least 2 to 3 years. So how to still remain calm and still be successful. Now I would like to get your mantras that how you handle this situation at personal level and as a CEO of an organization and running multiple organizations, and then having take care of kids, right? Being woman is more difficult.
Yes, and a three-year-old.
Yeah, and seeing
who's
the
constantly around me.
seeing the shine and the motivation on your face. I think first I should get trained from you, then I'll train others.
Oh, you're too kind. No, I think it's we go with the flow, and I think working in different industries and always working in industries where no one has gone before has actually opened our eyes that nothing will be permanent and we should be ready for the future. We should be ready for anything. And how Bangladesh has handled Rana Plaza situation, right? So it's kind of similar to that situation. I mean, no one has entered into this pandemic situation before. So we also started thinking of this home work from home thing when people, our staff, they had some issues, especially the women when they have small children. So we used to give them hours, working hours, flexible working hours, and these are the things that we can, we had started this online thing. But when the lockdown situation started, I think 10-15 days back, we started with 80-20 rule. I mean, 20%, managing the office with 20% and 80% working from home. And they will come after 1 week. So it's kind of a very structured format that we have created, so that in one department, maintaining all the hygiene and all those washing hands and all those masking and disinfection and everything. So we created this environment that business should go on, and we created an online platform for our people, for our all the employees of our company. I mean, they had another session. We were joining another session. They couldn't probably join this one. We are having constantly through our financial training organization. We are we're having all those mental health, leadership sessions, awareness programs, and during the Pahala Boishak, we had an event It's kind of, we had a magician coming in and, talking with the kids and all. So, and they are enjoying. So it's kind of creating an engagement, with our employees. That is also helping us to see the skills of those people. So those who are support staff, business, they're actually still moving. They're connecting with our clients, always out calling them. And, that's very easy. But for the support staff, it's easy. Our HR is really working on in a visionary platform. We can see there are some people who were not active, but creating an online platform, they became active. So these are the things, that the skills we're trying to get in for our customers. We are kind of it's like it's like a family thing that we are trying to make them feel that we're here to support you. Of course, the business volume is going down every day, but it's not. I would say not going that down. But of course, people are reinsuring, and since in Bangladesh more corporate, because we do property casualty, the health, we are having a lot of interest from corporates and other individuals to come in and to give COVID coverage. We have a proposition where we submitted to a regulator how we can have this, because the pandemic situation was not included in our coverage. We are helping the farmers through a platform where we have joined hands with Nogod. That's the mobile financial service company, which is owned by government as well. And we're sending money to all farmers in the remote areas. That is a very noble initiative we've taken. We've helped street children, women, students who are actually now poor, because we invest a lot of time and energy in our engagement with the universities, because there are a lot of brilliant ideas coming in from there, and they have helped us in all our projects that are being in the process in the technology platform that we are working, transforming all the products into a digital insurance product. So I think we're still trying to create, and being a CEO, I feel it's my responsibility. Like I do online session with certain number of people from different segments, and also do webinars, and so my job is to inspire people, to kind of motivate them to stay put and take a bold step in the unknown, where there's only darkness. So there's always bright sunshine after the darkness. So I think that's the motivation we're trying to hold. But at the same time, new businesses are coming, and at the same time, we're also, donated fund in Prime Minister's office. So we're trying to help our customers in a way that we are with you in this crisis. And as you know that we have also asked for assistance from the Prime Minister's fund for the agents, because I think in the long run there will be a lot of small companies will be, our job was also, always sending patients abroad, but we have not sent any patients abroad since last few months. But yes, we're doing something. So that is actually bringing positive change in the whole, I would say, group, because we have 5 companies, and we kind of, when we do things, we do it together, so that they feel that we're not alone. And as a CEO, I think it's my, we have created all those inspirational videos that we shall overcome. And I'm sure you have seen that this Shabash Bangladesh, the recent one, where we have used the children of our employees, we engage our employees, and my father, he's 86-year-old, and he also participated. My 3-year-old daughter also participated. So that's like, together we will kind of win this battle. So I think this is more important. So we're really focusing on mental health, and that's why kind of keeping them engaged with all those sessions, and keeping engaged. We are bringing in all those insurance experts at how to overcome these situations. I mean, this is, I spend more time with clients and our office, our colleagues and team members, that how to, how we can do things differently to overcome this, and by not keeping the business, slowing down.
Very motivating for even me, right? So if I would have been your employee, then I would have been very motivated. So I'm pretty sure rest of the employees too are, and your customers for sure. So Farzanah, that brings us to the last section of our discussion. Now here actually we are looking at silver bullets, very, very pointed recommendation from you to the startups and the entrepreneurs who are going through this tough time, so that actually when the COVID goes down, or when we are having the normalcy back, they still survive. So we need 4, 5, 6, whatever bullet points from you that do A, B, C, D, F, G, or don't do so, right? On that point, I would need your mentorship for these startups.
Well, I think because I am involved in this competition and I do all this mentoring thing with all the startups, and I feel the major problem that they're facing at the moment is the capital crunch and, the working capital also, what they will do. Some of them, they're just like, couldn't think of doing anything, or, we'll try to reach out to the customers to an online platform. So this is something that where I think never lose faith in you. You have to follow your dream. If it doesn't happen in one way, try to think how we can do it. So always think innovative, always think positive, and cost is an issue, because cost of doing business would be always high at this time. So you need to think of that. So laying off is not it should be the last resort, but you have to engage people in different activities and involve them, and so that they can also be a part of the whole process. Yeah. So I think for capital, there are a lot of these competition also help them to win some fund, and they can also, it's a kind of COVID thing. And there's a really Act COVID platform where we're asking for solutions which can help post COVID. So, so I think the startups should be engaged in how we can achieve those goals, going into the post-COVID situation. So think positive and think whatever you're doing now, maybe that would be your business next. In after 3 months' time. So end-to-end process, always you have to see the process, the cost, the leadership, and also employee engagement, and taking advice from your peers, from your juniors, from your seniors, and from your mentors. This is something, and also association really helps. So I think, looking around, of course, this is something that people don't have time to do. I think it's on the internet. You should read up, update yourself, what's happening in the, foreign market, and what are they doing, and what are their failures. Failures is something that I feel everyone should fail. So if someone fails, you feel, oh my God, the whole thing is gone. But through failure, you get all these learnings. You're the learning, those $1 million learnings will actually show the way, right? So also go into a diverse. Always think of diversifying your business opportunities. Don't put everything in one basket. So all the eggs in one basket. So you need to be a forward-thinking person. You need to have a vision, and you need to be patient. Patience is something I would say it is very much. I have seen a lot of startups, they get impatient. Okay, if it doesn't happen, and like for instance, blockchain. When you're thinking of a blockchain, or you put the model in a theoretical platform, and then you forget how to map. You need to, when you're thinking of implementing, you need to put in everything in the map, how you can, because there are multi-stakeholders, there are regulators, there are private sectors, there are suppliers, there are buyers, there are, your banks and financial institutions that you will be partnering with. So you need to kind of really look into the whole situation. So startups are very good in bringing in ideas. You need to have people in your board who who can really mentor you, who have the expertise in that line of business. Because technology partner needs to have like financial experts. You need to have experts in the supply chain. You need to have experts in the manufacturing. That's what we have. I forgot to mention, one of our success is we have really people working for us from different sectors. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how we bring in knowledge of people from different sectors. That is actually revolutionizing the whole, I would say, business spectrum, right? So the startups will bring in ideas, but in implementation, take advice. So don't do it alone that I know everything and I'll do better. Take advice and look into the failures, look into the learnings, and then be consistent. That is something that I always tell, that be consistent and see what you can do it differently, how you can do it differently. And unit pricing, always go into unit pricing. Cost, when you are doing cost, cost of doing business, you need to see how much is, the unit price cost. I mean, that's the beginning, right? So this is something, and the hidden cost as well.
Right.
And distribution, this is something that you need to partner. So for reaching the goal, you need to partner with people who will help you in distribution, who will help you in your sales, who will help you in also making profit. It's a win-win situation. And also the outreach, the impact. So I think I don't know how many. I mean, I have
great advice. In fact, let me put it. You talk about collaboration. You talk about getting the right mentors and right subject matter expertise. And the most important thing, actually, I fully agree with you. More than 100% is learn from the failures more than success. In fact, you'll be surprised. Most of the talks, right? I do nobody recognize that, but one talk which I always do is that actually on the failure. I'll share you a link with that. And believe me, that gets me the maximum, right, applause, because very few people talk about failures in their own lives to show that how you can be successful. So you nailed it perfectly, right? And if believe me, the last 6 minutes, what we discussed, if startups are listening, that believe me, this is the mantra to be a success, right? Please do it. And
thank you
I'm lucky
so
that
much.
we are doing 70 to 80% of that. And in fact, I would also like to add one more thing. I've interacted with few people in your team. And believe me, I can see what you have been talking about in your team. So that's the biggest thing, that if a leader is able to get what he's talking in his team, that's the biggest success. And thank Farzanah for sharing your time and valuable insight with us. It was indeed a pleasure, as always, to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for this invitation, and I really enjoyed a lot. And I hope I could give proper explanation of those questions that you've asked and clarification. And it was really a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Deepak.
Thank you.
And everyone.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Stay safe. Stay healthy, and stay at home.
Goodbye.